as somebody that's been in the rooms of recovery for many years, it's a look. But they had called on her at the school because a student, I think she was subbing an 8th grade class that day, a student said, like, man, this teacher's, something's not right. And she went to report it. And this was like at 11 o'clock, 11 a.m. So by the time the officer gets there and the time that you get like the body cam footage, they're all in the office, and man, this lady is tweaking. This lady is straight up tweaking. It didn't really make sense to me how she was tweaking. She said that she had did some yayo. She had done some Diet Coke, okay? She told the admin that had her in the office that all she was doing is like, eating some. But there is, I have never in my life seen anybody tweak that hard off of that. And so I was like, this has got to be something else, right? Like either she's smoking it, or it's mixed with something, or I don't know. But she insists. She's like, and she's like, her whole body is tweaking. She can't breathe. Like, she's going absolutely ape shit in the office. And they're like, well, where is it? We have to go get it. And she manages to tell him, like, she's like, it's in my coat pocket. So the officer and the admin go into the classroom, which has been evacuated. All the kids have been pulled into another class. And they start kind of looking around, but for some reason they want to bring the dog in. And I'm like, is the dog necessary? She told you where it's at, so why are we bringing, like, a dog in? Are we going to look first? Why are we going to waste it? Whatever. They bring the dog in. I don't know if that's, like, what they have to do now or what. It seems like a big waste of time to me if somebody already told you they got it and where it's at. They bring the dog in. The dog alerts to her bag, her like, backpack. So I guess she forgot where she put it. But they go into the bag and they find a bag of white powder. And then later, you see her at the hospital because the officer has to go meet her at the hospital. She's still tweaking in the afternoon now. And that's not how that drug works. Unless you were to continue doing it, you would be coming down. You'd be like a hangover, kind of. And that's when finally the officer is like, this doesn't make sense. If you were doing this drug, then how come a few hours later you're still in this condition? But he tests it right in the room, and it's plain old-fashioned Diet Coke. Okay, so I don't know what she might have done before or after, or what. She had told the hospital, maybe like the nurse or the doctor, that she was up all night with her boyfriend fighting. This lady's like, I think they said she was 47. She was up all night with her boyfriend fighting, but she needed to go to work, so she thought that would help her get through the day, which is kind of sad. I don't know. But then I was like, wait, mathematically, genius, that doesn't even make sense because you don't make shit as a substitute, so why would you spend? She had a big bag. Why would you spend this much money on a drug that you're not supposed to be doing, period, and not supposed to be doing at work, period, and not supposed to be doing at work around kids, period, to go make $110 at your job? Like, just call off. Just call off. Just call it a day. She was like, I don't want to go to jail. I'm a terrible person, but I don't want to go to jail. And he's like, you're not going to jail right now. The hospital is going to treat you, and you can appear in court next Thursday. So I guess she didn't have to is how they left it. Like, I guess she's got to go to trial. It would be interesting to find out, you know, how that all goes down. She's taking it to trial. She sure is. Now, here's the thing. Okay, teaching is not a job that you should have to do sober. But it is a job that you have to do sober. So, a hot mess, right? But that's the drug that you, like, that's a hard drug, ma'am. I know there's harder drugs now these days, but that's a hard drug, ma'am. So that's a hard no. But here is my argument. Now hear me out. They gotta stop letting these kids get high at school. If the teachers can't be high, I am sorry, but no, we are not letting these kids be high all day at school. And I'm not saying the kids are on hard drugs, but in the schools that I work at, in 4 out of 5 of the high schools that I work at, the kids smoke all day. The kids go in the bathroom with their vapes, they vape all day, and all that happens is every once in a while somebody goes in there and it's like, hey kids, get to class, and they come to class high AF. And I'm like, no, absolutely freaking not. The kids, if the teachers can't smoke, kids can't smoke. Period. They're not even legally allowed to. So, anyways, that was that. What else did I took some notes on all the YouTubes I've been watching. We've got the Donut Mom, which she calls herself. Does she call herself Donut Mom? She got the name Donut Mom. She's a lazy mom of 3. She calls herself, and she has a whole TikTok following off of how lazy she is and what she feeds her kids. Which, not gonna lie, we do girl dinner several times a week where I throw like adult Lunchables together. You know, here's our lunch meat. Here's our cheeses, here's our pretzels, so I guess I could be considered a lazy mom, but not always. I mean, I'll cook, I do cook too. There's crock-pot dinners other nights, and tacos, and wacos, or whatever, but she literally just gives them like donuts, pizza, things that you would feel a little guilt about, and she'd be kind of like, okay, fine, whatever tonight, but like, she's constantly doing it. And let's just get this out. She has an obesity problem, so I feel like that's gonna happen to the kids too, and that it wouldn't be their fault, you know. She does also have a boyfriend or a husband or something. We'll get into that a little bit more later. Anyways, there's 3 kids that I don't know the ages, but they're eating this stuff every day. But it's not just what she's feeding them. When you get glimpses into the household, it is disgusting. Just disgusting. There's just dishes piled everywhere. Groceries are on the counter. They're not like in cupboards or in a bin. They're just like everything is out. And it's just freaking gross. She did a tour of her house because some channel wanted to do an interview, and she's like, yeah, I'm not scared. You guys know I'm a mess, so whatever. So she gives a tour of her house, right? You'd think you'd clean up a little bit. Before this tour. Maybe she did. You can't even sit on the furniture. Where are these people sitting to like have some family? I don't know. Because you can't even sit on the furniture. She goes, yeah, the couch is kind of a catch-all. She starts like tossing stuff, like what, the interview's like, well, what is it? She's like, oh, like stuff I order from Amazon. Why are you ordering it and then not even using it? It's like, you're hoarding it right onto your couch. As soon as it gets there, you're like, oh, this is cool. She does get her nails done. She always has like, I guess, really, really nice nails, they were saying, which, like, okay, whatever, she's allowed to do, a couple things for herself, but it also doesn't make sense why that should be one of the last things you do for yourself. You know, how about if we have some extra money and I can't get on top of cleaning, then why wouldn't I throw it on, like, somebody to come sanitize my house, or get some help? Whatever. Anyways, she has 7 rabbits. And when she has pictures or these tours, there's just rabbit poop everywhere, okay? And in the interview, she tries to smell, ma'am, but you cannot just have little pebbles of poop all over your living room floor and think that you're living with children. You're living with actual human beings. So yeah, she's hoarding these rabbits too, and then a couple of them died, and then a couple weeks later, a couple more died. So they're like, okay, these rabbits are not getting taken care of. She does a tour of the bathroom, and it's like you walk right into the bathroom, and there is just swamp water sitting in the tub. And the lady's like, okay, why is there dirty water all the way up in the tub? She's like, yeah, I just didn't feel like draining it last night. And here's the thing. She's not teaching her kids to be any better than her, because, like, okay, what kids were, I don't think there's any babies, so what kids were in the bath? Why aren't we, your job as a parent is to, like, okay, are you done? You gotta let the water out. So I feel like she's just creating and perpetuating her lazy. I'm not even gonna call this mental illness. I'm calling this straight up laziness. Disgusting. Pigsty living. Like, they really should intervene, and she has. She's had CPS called on her a couple times, and they don't do anything. And that doesn't make sense to me. And also, there's something with that boyfriend that she has. There was like a throuple thing going on where there was her ex and him, and then one of them was out in the hall listening to like the other one, so he was out in the hall, what do they call it, shaking hands with the mailman, and like left some residue, and I think that was like criminal because the kids were home or something, and then she still got back with I don't what? And then, like, the current one accused her of SAing the kids, and then she was suspicious of him because she's like, well, if I'm not doing it, why is he accusing me of doing it? Because maybe he's doing it. I'm like, y'all suspect each other of this kind of stuff and stay together. I'm lost. These are real people. These aren't like fake. This is actually real. And let's do one more. Oh, the angel tree drama. Okay. Now, to be fair, I did not know. I've done angel trees before. I did not know you're supposed to get everything on their list. I never went minimum. Like, I never was like, oh, there's a $30 minimum, so I'm only gonna do $30. But I would grab like some stuff, what I could do on the list, and then turn it in, you know? But I guess you're supposed to buy everything on the list. I don't know. So this lady goes, but she's got to turn it into content. So she's got like 300,000 followers, and she wants to do some angel tree stuff. And so she films herself and her husband trying to pick out these presents for angel tree kids. And I do get it. Like, she picked 2, but if you could only do the minimum, then maybe just pick 1 and get them a couple extra things, you know? Don't pick the 2. Or if they're siblings, like, and you're scared one's not gonna get, I don't know. I don't know what the right or wrong thing to do here is, but you could see she was a little snotty with it, and the internet just took it and ran, and they were like, if you don't take it unless you're gonna go all out. Don't take the angel tree unless you're gonna try to get everything on the list. Like, look through the angel trees and be like, oh, I can afford this stuff on this list. Or and I'm like, well, maybe we should all just donate money, like donate what we can to the thing, because that it gets hairy. It does get hairy, but I do see how that lady sounded snotty and like, well, it's a $30 minimum, and then she spent $25 because of tax. So she's fussing about this $5, like, ma'am. But I don't want to go on the internet and say you shouldn't do it unless you can get everything on the list, because I do still feel like some of them are gonna go unpicked if somebody can't afford to buy everything on the list. So what I'm gonna say is, we should donate the money to Angel Tree and have them work their magic with it. Because I don't know if you pick a card, like, and the $30 minimum, right? Don't do the minimum. But what if you can do 60? Should you still not do it because the list would take 120? Is what I'm saying. let me know what you think. Or just drop like a present emoji in the bottom. Or in the comments, God. Alright, I gotta get going. But if you watched this all the way to the end, thank you very much. I hope you have a good rest of your day, evening, good night, sleep, and I will see y'all real soon. Toodaloo.